Starseeds and Wanderers. Hello again, thank you for joining me here once more. I hope you are happy and fine today. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mari Swaruu. I have noticed something. Of all the subjects I have written in the past year, now that we are approaching the first anniversary of my YouTube channel, due next month, one basic subject is absent, and it is starseeds. Perhaps I have postponed this subject for a long time because I felt it is a simple subject all of you already know, but now perhaps it is a good idea that I share my take on the subject, as it may differ from what has been published before, and new things will always come out anyway, because I will write this from other angles, as you will see. I'm well aware that there are thousands of videos about starseeds, yet, this is mine. The concept of what a starseed is has been sequestered by the New Age movement, and although things always get distorted when they are talked about a lot in popular culture, I still think the main, well-known definition of what they are has managed to remain quite accurate through the years. Although all souls are starseeds from the ultimate, more expanded point of view, the term applies to a point of attention of consciousness awareness, a soul, which has lived countless lifetimes on other planets, using a biological body that may or may have not looked human. No soul is formed in one or another specific planet, as they are all holographic fragments of source, of the everything, which is by definition, not localized as it is everywhere. Yet the term starseed applies to a soul that, even though it had a marked preference to reincarnate multiple times as a member of one or another specific race in the universe, for one reason or another it ended up deciding to have one or a few short and chaotic incarnations as a human being on Earth. A soul is created by itself, by the choices it has made through its countless incarnations, where it slowly evolves in consciousness awareness, from having simple thoughts, to more and more complex ones, as they go constantly reincarnating into the biological beings that are the best match for their frequency and vibration, which depend on their thoughts, as you know. All souls have one strong tendency, one that dominates all others it may have, and it is their inherent need for expansion, the need to know and be aware of more, with a deep need for personal growth. When the experience they are having in their lifetimes is not serving their expansion, souls have a strong tendency to remove themselves from the body they are using. This means that the body may wither and die, or it may become an empty shell that only thinks and operates through the action of the collective unconscious it is immersed in. It becomes a non-player character. This is where the expression, quote, "this job is killing my soul," end quote, couldn't be more appropriate, as the person in a monotonous, boring job that only submerges him or her into hopeless feelings and depression is literally causing the soul to retract. Unless the individual in this circumstance finds a meaning to what it is doing, as well as some other activity that nurtures the soul, augments its awareness and gives it experience. This is when a soul steps out from a healthy body, leaving the empty shell to be used by either an entering starseed, as a walk-in, or by a lower astral entity, depending on the vibration the exiting soul left the biological body at. When a soul cannot step out from the biological body which is stuck in those so-called soul-killing activities, and cannot take it any longer, it may cause the biological body to literally fall sick from all kinds of ailments, which are materializations, somatizations of the soul's worries and frustrations. Each illness will manifest in the energetic places, or centers, in the biological body, which correspond to the aspects of the individual's life that the soul is not happy with. Everything is ideas and perception, and even though some troublesome situations may not be much of a problem for someone, it may be so for another person, and if the problem is large enough, and that soul sees it as unresolvable, and very much contrary to its needs of expansion, it may cause an illness that ultimately will end the individual's life. From the point of view of my culture's medicine, all illnesses are psychosomatic, all ailments spawn from the mind, even those that may not look like they are coming from the ideas of the subject, as they are the result of a repetitive wrong activity, or bad habit, which has its roots in the individual's mind, again. From an idealistic point of view, each soul reincarnates into a being that is the best match to its vibration, and that vibration will be the result of the average thoughts it had during its previous incarnation, so each soul would then reincarnate in a being which is a little more elevated, or expanded in consciousness awareness, each time. As everything in this universe is consciousness, each soul will only reincarnate into a being with a matching vibration, which means that it is in accordance with the set of ideas in the mind of each soul. This is why it is only logical to expect each soul to reincarnate into something a little more expanded and aware each time around. Although this is a logical point of view and understanding of how souls and the universe work at large, it is known that many souls do reincarnate into a being that could be considered less evolved than the last one it was before. This is when souls are considered to have incarnated on Earth as guides, or as teachers, to serve as beacons for other lesser evolved souls to use as inspiration during their travesty through their lifetime on Earth. But even in this case, I see some strong misconceptions and ideas that I do not agree with, because in most cases it is stated, or taken for granted that a physical experience on Earth as a human is something less than any other previous experience as some other species in the universe, which must be enlightened simply because they are not human. This is vastly underestimating what a soul can be and can experience being a human on Earth. As I've said before, the human body, the human condition on Earth, is to live in a shared existential realm, which mixes all kinds of beings, with all kinds of vibrations, high and low, in one single realm, where they can interact with one another, which could not be the case elsewhere as their different vibrations would keep them apart from each other, as they simply do not match, as I explained in my recent video, about how existential densities work in deep space. This is why wise light beings and narcissistic demons, and all the souls in between, can mix and mingle on Earth, creating one big problematic vibrational soup, which breeds all kinds of terrible problems, but also generates a great opportunity for having soul-nurturing experiences. This means that on Earth, although all people look essentially the same, who is inside, his or her level of awareness, can be very different, and there is no way to know who is inside one or another specific biological body, at least until he or she opens their mouth and says something revealing. Or better still, until we can observe what he or she is demonstrating, through their ideas and actions. The existential realm on Earth is a place where both light beings and demons can share the same table and have a chat, although this is only a metaphorical expression as we all know what really happens when that occurs. To understand what I mean, just remember the difficult and nerve-wracking interactions that take place when different family members, with different ideas and vibrations, are forced to share the same table during the holidays. You get my point now. A starseed is defined as a soul that has had many incarnations as a member of a defined race elsewhere in the universe, and that has decided to enter Earth as a human for one or a few short nurturing incarnations. And a wanderer is defined as a soul that does not attach itself much to one or another specific race, and which has the defined habit of jumping from one to another, almost with no order. And loosely defining someone that is not a starseed, would be someone that has attached itself to reincarnating basically only on Earth, as a human, although strictly speaking, we are all starseeds, as you know. And although deciding whether you are or not a starseed, and of which kind, as well as with what stellar race you may be a match, is a decision only you can make, I will soon share with all of you some guidelines that may be of help. But please remember that only you can know. Thank you for watching my video and for liking and subscribing, I appreciate it a lot. And I hope to see you here next time. Take care. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.